Hi there, welcome friends. Welcome to Homekeepers. Hope you'll stay with us. Grab yourself a nice cup of tea or coffee or whatever you like. And I think you will enjoy the program. I'd like to see the hands of everybody out there who's been watching this week. And you feel like you already have met Mr. Dan Pilla with an unbelievable resume when it comes to dealing with the IRS. Had quite a story. He challenged them when he was 18 years old, and it kind of turned into a career. And God is really using him in this. And he's been on with us now for 2 days, and he will be on all week. That's kind of unusual for Homekeepers. But we want to do everything we can to help you in every part of your life. And I know what it is to tangle with the IRS. A lot of people do. And so knowledge is power. It truly is. You can read a book or you can go to a counselor. You know, if you're having a problem with your marriage and you go to a good counselor, get a little bit of knowledge and it gives you power to do the right thing. That's what we're doing here. Let me remind you that these books that Dan Pilla has written, the information comes up on the screen several times during the interview for you to get those books through his website or Amazon or Barnes & Noble. I think the website is the best. But don't write to us for them because we won't have them. I'm going to join Stephanie for something that you can have on hand all the time. If company drops in, you could do this. If you have these ingredients on hand, it's called an Easy Hot Fudge Sundae. We'll put it together for you. After I tell you again to order the book, He Holds My Hand, from us. That information's on your screen. I've mentioned this book several times. I'm so sold on it and so impressed with what Carol Kent has done. And I'm an avid believer in devotions every day. You might not be in the mood for it, so what? Sometimes there are things that are just good habits, and that's one that you really need in your life, and I know I need it. So that wonderful book is available for $20 to Homekeepers, and the information's on your screen, okay? All right. Now, what I said about this is right, isn't it?
Yeah, I may have thrown her off for a little bit because she came over and I started petting her furry arms.
Yeah, yeah, it was a bit distracting. It was. It does feel good, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes. Okay.
There's nothing right about this recipe. Nothing right at all. I'm telling you right now. I thought we'd come into the new year, we would have healthy
Celebrate
recipes for you guys, and Miss Rippy chooses an easy hot
yeah.
fudge sundae
Yeah.
for you. So there you go.
Okay.
So I have 3/4 cup chocolate chips. You made brownies earlier, okay? So you just made a brownie
And
box,
when I said
correct?
you could keep brownies in your freezer, unexpected people come by and say, let me fix you something.
Yeah,
They
2
can do
tables
it.
of brown
They can do
sugar, y'all, and a 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. Come on. It's all wrong. So I'm just going to melt this down. She made the brownies earlier, so yeah, have brownies in your freezer. I'm going to melt this down, and then I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of butter and a little bit of vanilla.
And you put the ice cream on top
Yep.
of the
Oy
brownie.
vey.
Well, also
See,
portion.
Miss Rippy can eat like this. Not a problem, because Miss Rippy exercises every night.
Well, I'm telling you, at my age, I probably wouldn't be moving around as really well as I am.
No, seriously, she runs circles around me.
Well, I do cardio every night, about 20 minutes.
Every night. I go home and I make dinner, I do dishes, and I sit down and I'm like, I can't do any more.
And then I do sit-ups. Got to keep and I do, every other day I do these with 8-pound weights.
What?
And I have a pretty good muscle here.
Let's see.
Well,
No, just do it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. My goodness.
One time I had a friend, we were at this convention, and she was having a hard time getting out of the car. She's my age.
Oh.
And so
Miss Rippy's like, here, let me help you.
I did. I didn't realize my upper body strength
Did
was
you
so
rip
good.
her out?
I just about threw her across the sidewalk. She says, my Lord.
That's funny. So I'm putting in
Butter.
2 tablespoons of butter and some vanilla, okay? There's nothing right about this. Nothing
Well,
right.
yes, except watch your portions. Watch your portions. That's a tiny brownie.
That's a tiny brownie, okay. So give me just a second for this to melt down. I'm going to put some on, then we're going to put some.
The only thing it lacks is some caramel sauce.
It's just wrong. You might as well just throw some bananas around there. Make yourself a banana
yeah.
fudge brownie split. Okay, I'm almost there. Almost there.
Yeah, it doesn't look very thick.
No, it's not thick at all. That was a lot of evaporated milk. But that's okay. It's going to be delicious.
Yeah, but I think I would try to make it a little thicker.
Yeah. Okay.
Half a cup.
I'm being
I
bossed around by my camera operator over here.
Ooh, wow.
Okay. Try not to make too big of a mess here.
And also, you know, when you have guests, I've used this before.
I'm going to leave that there so I don't throw anything off.
I've used this before when I've had company.
What?
There's nothing easier, especially your kids love hot fudge sundaes. Yeah, I think I would maybe not put so much evaporated milk in it.
Yeah. Let's make it pretty.
Yeah, that's what.
I watch I watch Food Network a little too much.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay. Yes. But really, what I think about this is these are things you can have on hand all the time.
It's just wrong, which is why I'm taking a bite.
Or you could buy the.
I can't even say words right now.
She's having a moment. Or you could buy the hot fudge stuff in the jar and just stick it in the microwave. That would be easier.
Not as good though, because this has that vanilla, and the butter makes it rich and.
My advice though would be really cut back on that evaporated milk so it'd be a little bit thicker.
So it'll be a little bit thicker, yeah.
Okay, if you want this recipe, the number's coming up on your screen. Email's the best, but we're very glad to mail it to you. That information's coming up, and if you have listened to Dan Pilla this week, I know you are very anxious to hear him again. If not, you're in for a treat, so stay with us.
If you would like a copy of today's recipe, you may receive it by contacting us through social media as listed on the screen. When requesting a copy through the mail, be sure to include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Thank you, and please know we always appreciate hearing from our viewers.
It's a privilege to again welcome Dan Pilla to the program. I'm sure that quite a few of you probably haven't seen the last two programs, but he is the premier answer to IRS problems, and I'm delighted to have him. Good Christian, knows the Lord, loves the Lord, and knows the tax code in this nation, and author of many books and more than 5,000 appearances on radio and TV. How many books have you written, Dan?
A total of 15 books.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the last 2 days we've been talking about how to win your tax audit, and when you go to the website on this, you can find out more about that. Today we're going to talk about tax amnesty, and this is a very dramatic conclusion usually to a long situation. I took the time to look up the word amnesty. That's what Jesus gives us.
Yes, it is. Yes. Forgiveness. Restoration, right? That's what it's all about.
Immunity, pardon, remission.
Yep. Remission.
So that's a
Yep,
great
exactly
word,
right.
yes. Most of us probably will never need it, but maybe it's surprising how many do need amnesty from the IRS.
Well, it really is surprising because we've got about 150 million individual income tax returns that are going to be filed in the United States. You know, this coming up here in 2019. There's another 100 million business tax returns. So let's just focus on the individual ones because that represents people, right? Represents families, husbands, wives, and so on. There's between 20 to 25 million people out there that have some kind of problem with the IRS. And 60% of those people owe more than $25,000. Now, I got news for you.
That's a lot of money.
If you owe 25 grand to anybody that's got the teeth that the IRS has to enforce collection, you're in trouble. And you need some kind of solution. You need a way to deal with that. And that's what How to Get Tax Amnesty is all about, how to deal with those collection problems.
This very, very interesting book. I've gone through it rather thoroughly. You document that for more than 30 years, the IRS has deliberately sent notices to the public which they know are wrong.
Yeah, that's.
Where are the courts? Where's the
Well,
judges?
first of all, when you get these issues into the courts recognize that the IRS is doing this wrong, and they straighten it out as to that particular person. All right, but the bigger question is, why isn't the IRS fixing their computer systems that are spitting out these erroneous notices? And the reason they don't fix them is because most people just pay them. If you get a bill from the IRS that says, oh, dear Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we looked at your tax return and we found a mistake for 2016, but don't worry, we fixed it. Now you owe us $750. Well, you might write a check for $750. But on the other hand, if you get a bill from the IRS for $17,000 or $170,000, God forbid, you don't have the option to just write a check for that and pay most people don't have the option to just write a check for that. Now you got to deal with the IRS's enforcement machine. And here's the other problem when we're talking about collection. You know, there's millions of people out there that are honest citizens, hardworking people that something went wrong in their life. Life threw them a curveball sometimes. And we see this happen, whether it's a failed business or a failed marriage, an illness, catastrophic illness or injury. We see that all the time. Natural disasters, fire, flood, hurricane, any of those kinds of things. Maybe it was a drug abuse or alcohol abuse problem. Any of those kinds of things, and things I didn't even mention. All of these things happen in people's lives, and Christians aren't immune to this stuff. We
Not
know
at
that.
all.
All these things can happen to people. We live in a fallen world. Bad stuff happens to good people. We know that. And so when you get into that kind of a situation, and a family is placed into the position of where they have to make a choice between paying their taxes and feeding their families, what are they going to do? They're going to feed the families.
Absolutely.
It's an unenviable position to be in. It's an impossible Hobson's choice. But the answer, at least the short-term answer, is very simple. I got to feed my family first. That's my first responsibility. And then I'll worry about the IRS when I have to worry about the IRS. And that's what we see happen so often. And that's how these people get behind to the point where, you know, they've got these massive
And
tax
they're adding
problems.
penalties all the time.
And that's the other thing. You know, it's one thing to owe the IRS taxes. And I've heard people tell me 1,000 times, I can pay my taxes. It's the penalties and interest that are killing me. And when the typical tax bill starts running penalties and interest, what happens is that bill increases by about 280%. So if you've got a person that owes, let's say, $30,000 in taxes, they don't owe $30,000 in taxes. They owe $10,000 in taxes, and the rest of it's penalties and interest. So what the IRS does is they take a very difficult situation and turn it into an impossible one because they keep loading those penalties and interest.
Now, can they take your stuff? Can they go pick up your car? Can they can take all the money out of your bank account? I know they can do that.
Well, the IRS has awesome collection powers. They can levy and seize.
I call it stealing.
Well, when you take something that doesn't belong to you, we would call that theft, and I would call that theft as well. The IRS steals from people. There's no question about that. But they do have the quote-unquote legal authority under the Internal Revenue Code to steal your money. There's no question. It's unmistakable. So don't think that the IRS can't go clean out your bank account. And you know, that's some mistakes that people, oh, let's just see them try. Yeah, well, it doesn't take that. It doesn't take that much effort on their part to get that done. But here's the point I want to make, because I don't want to leave people afraid of that idea. In the book, How to Win Your Tax Audit, I talk very, very specifically about probably what is the single most important right that taxpayers have when dealing with the IRS. And it's a right to what's called a collection due process appeal. Here's what the law is. The IRS, before they can seize a nickel's worth of your assets, they have to mail what's called a final notice, notice of intent to levy, and notice of your right to a hearing. There is no mistaking that letter, okay? Comes certified mail, it's got your name on it, says, it's got in bold letters across the top, final notice, notice of intent to levy. I show you examples in the book. Notice of intent to levy, notice of your right to a hearing. That notice gives you 30 days to do one of two things, either pay the IRS or file an appeal. If you can't pay within 30 days, you have to file that request for what's called a collection due process appeal, because this is a remarkably powerful tool that people have available to them. When you file that appeal request within the time, two more things happen. Number one, you stop the IRS collection action cold. They can't
Put the brakes on.
They can't seize a bank account. They can't seize a paycheck. They can't take a postage stamp from you. while that appeal is pending. That's number one. Number two, the case then goes out of the hands of the collection function and it goes into the hands of the IRS's appeals unit. Now, the appeals unit is very important because their written job description is to negotiate settlements with taxpayers. And when we're talking about collection due process appeals, their responsibility is to figure out what a equitable solution is to the problem. They have a statutory responsibility to consider what are called collection alternatives, where you as the taxpayer go in there and say, look guys, I owe you $50,000. There's no way I can pay the $50,000, but let's do something different. Rather than running me over and grinding me into powder, let's do something different here. Here's an alternative. Maybe it's an installment agreement. Maybe you don't owe the tax. Maybe you can present information to the IRS that shows you don't owe the tax. Maybe you have a financial hardship right now and the IRS should shut the collection case down altogether, which they have the power to do. Absolutely.
Do they do that very often?
They do it a lot. Maybe you qualify for a compromise where you say, look guys, I owe you this $50,000, but there's no way I can pay $50,000, but maybe you can pay $5,000 or $10,000, and you settle your case once and for all through what the IRS calls an offer in compromise, where you resolve the case once and for all for a flat sum of money that gets you off the hook forever for those back tax liabilities. And I talk about all this in the book. Every one of these strategies I lay out in the book.
Tax amnesty. I really feel the last 2 days and today's you're educating people for one thing, but also offering a lot of hope. I don't know who said this. I got it out of your book. But when it comes to amnesty, you can't get blood out of a turnip. And if we're dealing with turnips, then we better start cutting our losses and moving on.
I'll tell you who said that. It was former IRS Commissioner Shirley Peterson made that statement in 1992. In fact,
is that where this was all kind of born?
I'll tell you where the book How to Get Tax Amnesty came from. In 1992, early 1992, then Commissioner Shirley Peterson made that statement to Congress. When we're dealing with turnips, we're better off cutting our losses and moving on. And she recognized then, in fact, this is her statement, and I quote her in the book. She says, much of what we call non-compliance with the Internal Revenue Code is not non-compliance at all. It's misunderstanding. People don't know what their responsibilities are. And then she went on to say that most of the people that are in trouble with the IRS are not in trouble because they made a deliberate attempt to cheat the IRS. They've got some financial problem. And she says we as an agency have to start recognizing that.
Well, she was a sane voice.
She was a very sane voice, all right? So in 1992, they made 8 specific administrative changes to how the IRS was going to deal with delinquent taxpayers. Those 8 changes formed the basis of the first edition of How to Get Tax Amnesty. This book was first released in 1992.
Really?
It's gone through
no kidding.
No kidding.
Is that old?
It's gone through 9 different revisions since then. And this edition that you have in your hand now is the most recent edition, and it's been rewritten from start to finish. So it's a brand new book. But that's where it came from. And I'll tell you one thing else. In 1992, there was nobody, I mean nobody in the United States of America that was bringing this message to the people. It was the book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, that for the first time publicized this information and showed people how to do it. This book has helped hundreds of thousands of people to get their tax problems solved.
Yes, and you can see it's a good-sized book. It's easy to read, and you can get it through the website that we have on the screen. I had somebody close to me, and I think it was in the late 80s, maybe early 90s, got in trouble when everything crashed in California, and he was overextended. They took his airplane. They took his daughter's car that was in his name, and they surrounded it, and she was, I think, a freshman in college, and wanted to get her cassettes out of it, and they said, you touch that, you're going to jail. They told that to that little girl.
Yeah.
They would keep the garage door up this high for the dogs to go in and out. An agent went in there and got under the door, and the friend close to me, or was a relative actually, every kind of hearing anything they had, he would go over like a Christian and shake their hand, and they were absolutely like Satan.
Yeah, I bet.
He asked them if he could go out and wash his airplane. The guy said, I've got more to do than watch you wash an airplane. They were just horrible. And when that case was over, they lost their house, lost everything. that agent came and apologized to him.
Amazing. Yeah.
It was
And
the
now
most,
you said this happened in the late 80s?
or the early 90s, probably the
Yeah.
late 80s.
Yeah.
They took everything.
It's a terrible story, and it's not at all uncommon. I've heard
It's very
stories like
close
this.
to me, too.
I've heard stories like this 1,000 times. But let me say this. That happened in the late 80s. What happened to my father happened in the late 1970s. Those things never have to happen to another American if you understand what your rights are. Because in the late 1990s, as a result of the work that I did with the National Commission on Restructuring the IRS, we added rights to the Internal Revenue Code that taxpayers have now that will prevent all of that from happening. It never has to happen again.
That's one thing that really, when I watched you on TV, I really wanted my viewers to see you, because probably most of them have a story
Yeah,
like
oh
mine.
yeah, no
And,
question.
this book right here, if you're really in over your head. Now, can they still take your house?
Oh, they can't take, you see, this is one of the things that we changed in the
Praise
1990s.
Yeah.
The IRS does not have the authority to take your house through the administrative process. So some agent can't show up at your house with a tag and put it on the door like they did to my dad's business in the 70s. They can't do that anymore. All right. Now, in order for them to take a personal residence, they have to file a lawsuit in federal court. And let me tell you something, that's pretty rare. Very, very rare. Particularly if you're working through the process aggressively using the guidelines that I have in the book, it's never going to happen.
And as was mentioned before, truly catastrophic things can happen to people, to good people, and the government should not have the power to just take everything they have.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yep.
And it destroys, might destroy the desire to start again.
Well, not only that, but what it does is it drives people underground. You know, when the IRS has got the boot on the neck, and you don't see a way out, first of all, you can't stop living. You can't stop feeding yourself and your family. So people get driven underground. And so now is the IRS not only not collecting the back taxes, but they're not collecting the current taxes either. So it's in everybody's best interest, and Shirley Peterson made this comment back in 1992. We're better off cutting our losses. Really what she was saying is we're better off getting these people back in the system, back on the beam, in compliance going forward, right? So they're paying their taxes going forward, and we just forget about the dead letter that's over here, and let's let the dead bury the dead. That's essentially what she was saying.
Now, the only group or people who could change this Congress, and I have zero confidence in them, and I'll tell you why. When they get there, the only thing that is paramount in their mind is getting reelected.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all we see.
Yeah.
What in the world do they accomplish? If a group should ever, if they have the power to make something right, it should be the tax system.
Well,
that should be right at the top of the list.
Yeah, you'd think so, but the problem is the tax system. You'd think that our tax system is about raising revenue. I mean, wouldn't you think that?
Well, I would think that.
You would think that, but it's not. The federal income tax system, the way we have it now, is not about raising revenue. The first thing is it's about picking winners and losers in the marketplace. Congress uses the tax code to decide who's going to prosper and who isn't going to prosper. They can penalize this business, that is this kind of business that has somehow fallen out of favor, and they can reward these businesses over here that have somehow found favor. And so they pick winners and losers. Of course, that definition changes every 2 years, right? And
okay, but do those winners and losers keep that congressman in office? I mean, money?
Theoretically they could, but you know, we're talking about Congress as a whole, not individual. You know, you got 435 members of Congress, not one. You know, one person doesn't you know, swing things one way or the other in Congress, and the Senate not so. You know, it's a little different story. But the next thing that happens is Congress people buy and sell legislative favors using the tax code as currency. And then third on the list, oh, by the way, yeah, let's raise some revenue. But the fact of the matter is that every responsible economist out there that has looked at the tax code has said that the simpler the tax laws, the more revenue you raise. All right? It is absolutely antithetical to raising revenue to have a tax code that's so complicated as the one we have now. And yet that's the way they like it.
Yep, and we're going to pick up on this tomorrow, for sure. Talking with Dan Pilla, and we've been talking today about this book, How to Get Tax Amnesty. We're going to do that on the next program, so stay with me because I have a couple of things to say before we have to say goodbye.
Arthelene would like you to keep the following information handy. You may contact Homekeepers by writing to Homekeepers, P.O. Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758, or go to www.rippy.org. Remember, we always enjoy hearing from our viewers, and we thank you for your support.
Now, these are not the only two books that Dan Pilla has written. They're the ones we are talking about, but you can learn more from his website, and that's why I want to keep reminding you that for his books, you get them through his website or through some of the book outlets and stores where they're available. And this is, when we began this program, this was one of the things that I really wanted to target, and that's to help you in every single area of your life. We've had medical experts on here. We've had doctors. We have Dr. Clark on every month to talk about relationships. He's a Christian psychologist. We have Carol Kent on to really minister to those in prison, but also equally to those loved ones of those in prisons. And we've really gotten a good feedback from that because some family relatives have written to us, says, you know, you've kind of taken the shame away. Some people wouldn't talk about the fact that they had a relative in prison. So we bring you these things, and of course we've had the food experts on, money experts, and it's just a joy to kind of know, because of your feedback, that we are helping you. And this is the first time, as far as I know, we've been on the air about 20 years now, that we brought you some really extended information on your taxes. So let me know if this is helpful to you. We appreciate everything you send to us. We appreciate all the encouragement that you send, and really appreciate the time that you take to email us, send us a letter in the mail, encouragement. We thank you so much for that. And most of all, as we've talked about this devotionals and so forth, I hope you make Jesus the very center of your home. Everything else can come out from that. He's like the hub there, and all the spokes of your life are going to go a whole lot better if you have him to the center. Don't ever forget that. And we're out of time, but see you next time, remembering there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.